In honor of this Tuesday, June 16th, being Jim Dine's 85th birthday, we're going to create some heart art this week inspired by the artist Jim Dine, who loved to use the image of a heart in his art. I thought a really fun way to do this would be to tie-dye some paper towels. So for this you will need paper towels, rubber bands, which are actually not necessary but definitely helpful, and then something to add color to your paper towel with. That could be any washable, non-permanent marker. That could be watercolor paint, or that could even be these paint daubers that I have. Any or all of them work great, and I'm actually going to show you how it works with each one. So first you want to grab your paper towel. The paper towels that I happen to have at home are able to be split in half and then actually split again into quarters. But if you just have one large piece of paper towel, that will work perfectly fine too. If you want to make smaller hearts, you can always cut your large paper towel into 4 smaller pieces. So I'm going to show you 4 different rolling and folding techniques. Each one is going to produce a different pattern or design when you tie-dye it. This one I'm rolling from the top all the way down and then folding it in half. And then you can just hold it and color it in. But it's best if you have a rubber band to just tie a rubber band around it just to secure it so it doesn't move. The next one I'm going to fold accordion style like a fan all the way down from the top. Keep folding, increasing, and folding, increasing back and forth. Zigzag pattern all the way to the bottom. Then I'm going to fold it like an accordion again, zigzag back and forth, and secure it with a rubber band. The next one I'm starting in the center and pinching and twisting all the way around and just kind of wrapping it, but you really want to pinch and twist from the center out, and then just wrap the paper towel around the center. This one's a little tricky, so then as carefully as you can, you're just going to wrap a rubber band around the outer edge of it. The last one I'm going to start off the same way I did the first one and just roll from the top all the way down, rolling and rolling and rolling till I get to the bottom, and then I'm going to roll all the way in. So I'm tucking it and rolling like a spiral all the way in. And then you'll want to secure that around the outer edge as well. So those are 4 different rolling and folding techniques, but if you've ever tie-dyed a t-shirt, you know there's no wrong way to do this. You can pinch or fold or twist it any which way you want, and each time it'll come out with a different pattern when you tie-dye. On my first one, I'm going to show you how to do this with markers. Any washable, non-permanent marker will work. You don't want to use permanent markers because you really want your colors to blend and bleed together when you wet it. And that won't happen with permanent markers. So I'm just coloring, trying to get as much of the white of the paper towel as I possibly can. You can use as many colors as you want in any pattern that you choose. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. When you're done coloring, you're going to dunk your paper towel right into some water, or you can just hold it under the faucet for a quick second, get it nice and saturated, and then give it a good squeeze and try to squeeze out any excess water. Then you want to slowly and carefully remove the rubber band. Be extra careful when you do this step because wet paper towel is really easy to tear. This is my favorite part, opening it up, seeing how your design came out, and then you're just going to lay it flat and let it dry. For the second one, I'm going to show you the same thing, but this time I'm going to demonstrate how to use these paint daubers. Same exact technique, but instead of coloring with the marker, you're just going to dab with the paint dabber and try to saturate your paper towel all the way through. Again, you can use as many colors in any pattern that you want. You can go right on top of your rubber band, just paint right over that. It'll get underneath there anyway. And just like before, you want to give it a good dunk in the water, or even just run it under the faucet for a couple seconds. Not too much, you don't want to wash out all the paint, but get it nice and saturated, and then give it a good squeeze. Carefully, again, remove the rubber band, and then lay it flat and see what you got. The last one I'm going to show you is the same exact technique each time, except this time I'm going to use some watercolor paint. If all you have is tempera paint or even acrylic paint, you can use that watered down, or even you can water down food coloring and paint with that. Really anything that will bleed and blend together when it gets wet and that will stain your paper towel will work. Here's the way my 4 examples came out. Now to make some heart art out of these, you're going to need a scissor and some glue. To start, fold your paper towel in half and make a nice crease. And then grab your scissors, and on the fold, it's really important that you are cutting on the folded side, not the open side. So if you think of it like a book, you want to cut on the binding of the book and not on the open pages. So on the folds, you're going to cut around and you're just going to make half a heart. You're making half of a heart because when you open your paper towel up, a heart is a symmetrical shape, and so you'll have a full, complete heart. So you can see as I'm folding and cutting and opening my hearts, I'm left with not only the heart itself, but also the space that it's cut from. So there's the positive, the heart, and also the negative space, which is the absence of the heart, which looks really cool too. So there are countless ways that you can arrange these hearts. Any way works, there's no right or wrong. Remember, Jim Dine's artwork was very abstract, so your artwork can be too. It doesn't have to be oriented top to bottom. You can have your hearts going crooked, sideways, upside down, backwards. Anyway, your little heart desires. My artwork was inspired by this piece of Jim Dine's art called 4 Hearts, which is why I oriented mine this way. But yours could be anything you want it to be. You don't even have to do these tie-dye hearts. Remember, this is a district-wide project, and the only requirement is that it has to have a heart. But you could make it out of clay, you can draw it, you can paint it, you can make it out of sticks or twigs or rocks, or you can even find art in nature and take a picture of it and use photography as your medium. There are really endless possibilities when it comes to this project. You can even do Anne Hutch's version or Waverly's version, or come up with your own idea. Can't wait to see all the lovely hearts you create. Have fun!